Hey everyone, welcome to the second week of the training grounds in the 4-course bundle, and to be more specific, in the correlation part of the 4-course bundle. This week we're going to look at how you can trade with your strength numbers, or how you can filter out trades with your strength numbers. How should you approach strong versus strong, weak versus strong, neutral versus strong, or neutral versus weak. So let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the most recent numbers. New Zealand super weak, USD neutral, Aussie very strong, New Zealand very weak. So let's have a look at Aussie New Zealand. Let me go to the New Zealand group. So Aussie New Zealand here, we know that Australian dollar is very strong and New Zealand dollar is very weak, and this is exactly what you get at that time. No pullbacks at all. Even if I were to go to the 4 hours, let me make this one full screen once it loads. So okay, there we go. So even if we're on the 4 hours here, there's hardly any pullback that we can speak of. I mean, where can we see the swings coming down, giving us a V formation and everything? It simply isn't there. In fact, even I think if we're going to go down to the 1 hour, I don't think we would see much pullback here either. Yes, sometimes there's very tiny ones. So I think at best, to trade this, you would have to be on the 60-15 time frame, but even then at times I think it will be difficult, because this is just ranging as well on the 1 hour, which means on the 15-minute you're not going to get swinging trend pullback. Perhaps around here, but there isn't much. It just keeps on steaming up and up and up and up. So that is the risk if you want to trade strong versus weak. And obviously the same goes for trading weak versus strong, but yeah, this is an excellent example of trying to trade strong versus weak. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Go back to the currency strength numbers. I see here USD 7 and Swiss franc 1. So now we're taking a strong one with a neutral one. Find it here. Okay, let me make that full screen. So here we go. What was the date? February 11th, right? So we're looking at around this time, and the strength of USD is up. We can see that USD is clearly in an uptrend here on USD Swiss franc. So how can we take advantage of that? On the daily, we can't trade it, because the daily needs to be at least our big boy if those are strength numbers, and strength numbers need to be at least on the big boy or higher. You can also use higher, then you just have to be more patient at times, or it's rather an extra filter. So you would only be trading with your strength numbers then, and never against them, or never with neutral numbers. And what I mean with that is that when we look at this pullback on the 4 hours here on USD Swiss franc, I'm just waiting for the data to load here. Okay, there we go. So that was that push up, and then we're getting our pullback on the 4 hours. But note that this takes quite some time. Even on the trading time frame, these are quite a bit of swings, and by this time the daily numbers will probably be more neutral for USD. I don't know what Swiss franc did, but I would guess that USD would at this point, if the whole group does the same thing, so let's assume that it does, then the USD strength numbers on the daily will probably be a little bit more neutral and not so strong. And that's what I meant sometimes. If you are trading with your big boys strength numbers, the strength numbers will not exactly line up anymore once it's time to take the trade, and then it will come down to your skill and determining the territories and the money spot, etc. So let me just do that here. Horizontal ray, that's our buyer's territory on the big boy on the daily, right? So going back to the 4 hours, our pullback should start from somewhere here if the data loads. It's a little bit slow, bear with me. Okay, there we go. So here we have our pullback. And now, once I've drawn a territory, it seems so obvious, right? So pullback, we're in the money spot now, because this is a mini seller's territory or trading time frame seller's territory, and price starts to range a little bit. pokes down once, comes right back. So you could argue we have a V formation here, but we obviously have to wait for the test phase. Test phase comes in ultra hard, goes even lower, but comes right back. Okay, do we have a V at all now? But then price starts to inch up and inch up and inch up, and you could argue around this time we have our V formation finally, and then the trade plays out. Or if you want to take it more conservatively, you wait for these buyers to come up, price to hold there, and then to take it from there. But obviously risk to reward is then more of an issue. So this is the approach for a strong versus neutral. USD was strong, Swiss franc was neutral, and now we approached it from just the trading time frame that's right below the big boy. Now what if we would approach it from a much lower time frame? So if we still use the daily numbers, but we're going much lower. I'll try to cover that in the next video. So stay tuned, and we're going to dig right into that.